A few months ago, Pastor Mathew Ashimolowo talked about real estate investment in Ibeju Lekki and how to play safe as an investor when investing in the location. In an interview with one of the highest selling realtors in Lagos State, Confidence Akodo, he talked about developers in the axis selling at a cheap, and when the product gets to a particular stage, they ask the investor to pay more. In a way to justify some of the prices that his estates in this corridor are currently selling for, Pastor Mathew Ashimolowo talked about the need to watch out for some major things, major important things when investing in real estate in the location. He talked about the prices for acquiring the C of O, the prices for acquiring the survey, and even the building permits, which some real estate in this corridor does not have. I'll be joining the interview right now. Please make sure you listen to the interview and let us watch and listen together. If you're on this channel for the first time and you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please, we need you to keep subscribing. Please, we need you to keep subscribing because you are the reason why we are here. We want to try as much as possible to take the subscription on this channel to at least 1,000 before the end of this month. And I believe together we can achieve this.
What do you want? A cheap land, which you might face consequence, but I have bought cheap and suffered. The deep sea port used to belong to me, 20 acres. I bought it cheaply, no papers. And the person told me I have integrity. The governor is my son. I will get the paper. Today, I didn't get any papers. And at the time, somebody was showing me banana land, which was more expensive. And I thought I was smart by buying cheap. But I had now found out I wasn't smart because I lost everything. 1978, land use decree, and 1993 Lagos State land law makes you to be powerless, absolutely, totally powerless. All land belongs to the government. Lagos State now added to it by an act of a House of Assembly that from Ikoyi to Epe, left and right, 2 kilometers is controlled by the state. They have the powers to just take the land, allocate, regulate, use as they wish. So now somebody will say, oh, there are demolition. In the places where there's demolition, there is law. Take the government to court if you are sure that you have people. It will be difficult for the government to have been the one that went through all this process and come to demolish your house. The only reason will be a public use that is for greater public. I, Matthew Ashimolowo, I've been the greatest victim of that. It was the land where my church was that was taken for Olympic Stadium 2012. I couldn't override the government of the United Kingdom.
So not just in Nigeria?
No, I'm talking United Kingdom. The Olympics 2012 was in England. It was KRCC land. That's where the main bowl sits, where my preaching ground stands. It's where it was taken. If a person looks at Makarios and he says, oh my God, look at the amount. What do you want? A land which you cannot rest, which every time a call comes from Lagos, your mind is not at peace? Or the one which you know that if they had no approval, they wouldn't be doing what they are doing. Mechanical, electrical, and plumbing of Makarios is costing us 9 billion. Layout for this estate, 120 million. Survey, 200-300 million. C of O, over 1 billion. And for us to build something that is truly legacy, foundation is 3 billion. The infrastructure in this estate is running into 10 billion. Makarios is changing the narrative in this corridor.
Yes.
When you buy those 20 million naira plots, there's no road. They will come back to you and ask for money for road development fee. They are not even talking of properly tarred or paved road. I fear for those who are buying in estates in this corridor where they did not see evidence of proper drains. Lagos is a place of high water table. So you have a soakaway here where your waste goes to, and you have your borehole here. They can interface, and you may be drinking the water from your It's not exaggeration. In Makarios, we are going to have 4 tanks. 1 have already been built. That tank is 575,000 liters. There will be 3 of that. These terraced houses, 24 already almost completed. The villas, 14 out of the 18 which we got approval for. By July ending, they'll be ready. Real estate in Nigeria is dependent on where you buy the land and the quality of documentation. If you buy Ikoyi, your return on your money is 2 years. If you buy VI Lekki Phase 1, 4 years. If you buy from Lekki Phase 1 into the rest up to Ibeju, your return is probably somewhere between 4 and 6 years. Makarios returned in 1 year. You see, people also are emotional buyers. I know people abroad, because they grew in Ibadan, you can't sell Lagos to them. But they don't realize it will not return. People know my name. I can't hide. If a realtor were to collect money and run away, where would I run to? Our reputation is at stake. We didn't come into real estate because we needed money. We're doing this because we wanted to show legacy.
Yes.
And the legacy is here.
I am sure you must have listened to that interview with Pastor Mathew Ashimolowo. And this should be an eye opener for investors generally, especially those who are interested in the Ibeju Lekki environment. Ibeju Lekki currently is experiencing one of the fastest developments because of the major government presence in this location. The government of Lagos State are interested in this area. And for you to acquire real estate in this location, you have to watch out for the basic things that Pastor Mathew Ashimolowo just talked about, like the title, the building permits, and every other document that is necessary. Buying properties in this location, you cannot underestimate the fact that due diligence must be done. I used to say this. Every of my investors understand this by now. They know this by now, that John, as a realtor, I always say this, that it is better to buy half a plot that has all the necessary title than have 1,000 plots of land in this location without a valid title. In 2017, 2015 thereabouts, Ibeju Lekki started opening up, especially the parts where you have the Dangote refinery and the seaport. And a lot of developers started positioning themselves in this location. Many of them don't have the necessary title. A lot of them were selling what you call excision in process. And when you say excision in process, it simply means that that land has not been excised yet. That land has not been excised yet, which means government have not released that land to the public or to the villagers yet. I've talked about documentation, what excision in process means, what excision means, what C of O means, what a gazette means. I'm going to leave that content, that video, in the description of this content so that you can go back to understand some of these terms. So back to my discussion, there was nothing like excision on this land they were selling. They were selling based on the file number which they are filed in with the government, and probably they know one or two persons in the government that promise them that the land is going to be released to them. Fast forward, the current government or the governor on seat then was forcefully removed, or was removed out of office, which is Governor Ambode. He was removed from the office, and a lot of people that thought excision was going to be released, it was not released. And even as I speak with you right now, till now, a lot of properties along that corridor are still on excision in process. And there's one thing you must understand: all land in the states belongs to the government. All land in the states belongs to the government, unless it is being released through the process of excision, gazette, or C of O, even governor's consent. And if a land is being given through the means of C of O, the person occupying that land or the company in charge of that land can only occupy that land for 99 years. After 99 years, the land no longer belongs to that person. That is why, for you to permanently own the land, you go through the process called a governor's consent, which means the government is aware that the land has been transferred to you permanently. So if you're out there and you are relying on what a family member or a friend says to you through the words of mouth, then the assurance that a land belongs to you in this location is not certain. For instance, during demolition, especially during the construction for the Calabar Coastal Road, a lot of buildings were demolished along the Ibeju Lekki corridor. And these people, because they legally owned the property, a compensation was being given to them. But for some people who don't own this property legally, they were not compensated. Imagine for you to have spent millions of naira on a property that does not have a legal title. If anything happens in the future, there is not going to be any form of compensation that will be given to you. So what am I trying to say? Ibeju Lekki is one of the major interests of the government. And when you are investing in this corridor, you have to avoid buying cheap land. A lot of investors actually fall or bought into Ibeju Lekki in 2015 when a lot of developers were selling with excision in process. And this is because the prices of those properties then was very cheap because there was no title. It was very cheap. And also, they were running promo back to back. Buy 4, get 1 free. Buy 5, get 1 free. And this made a lot of investors to buy into these properties without even bothering about the title on this property. We were all victims. I also bought then. But now, I am saying this categorically that except a land has a C of O or a governor's consent, there is no guarantee on it. Even when you are buying a land with a C of O, you have to be sure of the number of years that the current owner has used on the C of O. Request for every document on that land and do your due diligence. Very important. Don't let a family member promise you, or don't let a family member, persuade you to buy a land which you are not sure of the title on the land. Even for those people who are buying into Epe now, you have to be very careful because Epe has few titled land. C of O in Epe are very, very few. C of O land in Epe, they are very, very few. What you have commonly in Epe is freehold. And when you are buying a freehold property, except a company is assuring you, the developing company is assuring you that they are going to work on the title of the property, I would advise that you don't proceed with it, except you are ready to go through the stress of perfecting the title by yourself in the future. There are properties you can think of in Ibeju Lekki and Epe that are under our portfolio, which we have done our due diligence on, and they are very okay to buy into. Before we post properties on this channel, we make sure that we do our due diligence, and we are sure before bringing them out. Properties like Lekki Aviation, properties like Amen Estate, properties like Fairmont Estate, properties like Lowlight Garden by Gracia House, properties by like Itunu Residential, properties like Makarios Champions League, properties like Makarios Luxury Place, properties like Mabella Luxury Place. You can reach out to us on the phone number that is being displayed on the screen so that we can guide you. On this channel, we have helped a lot of investors to save money. There's no point working hard and losing it when investing in real estate. That is why we have this channel. We educate you, we guide you, we provide basic information regarding real estate investment here in Lagos, Nigeria, so that whenever you are ready to invest back home, you can make do with all this our content to invest wisely. Please, if you're on this channel for the first time and you are yet to subscribe, please hit on the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell. We are trying to take the subscription on this channel to at least 1,000 before the end of this month. Thank you for watching. Until next week, when I'm going to be bringing another educative content right here on this channel to you. Keep watching Bino Real Estate Consult. Until I come your way again, have a lovely day. Bye.